Now don't be popping up with stuff. All right, y'all. Let me fluff the fro. It's Friday. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. This is going to be second attempt. Oh, girl. I'm messing with the fro. Second attempt to do this because y'all know last night it was a mess. It literally was a mess. I could not, for whatever the odd reason was, I could not record. I couldn't go live. I couldn't do anything. But this is Paranormal in the Hood. And this is basically the second portion. So we're gonna rewatch what I put up yesterday. Give me a second. So we're gonna rewatch what I was trying to do yesterday. But I'm not gonna get into the minutia. I'm just gonna get into the video. So this is like Haitian witchcraft. And it's basically you'll see the content creator on TikTok telling his story of essentially like what happened to him and his paranormal experience. So it's almost spooky season. If you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, then she's not. So okay.
For the weak. I could only speak for myself, but the thing. So being a Haitian is not for the weak. I could only speak for myself, but the things that my family and I have seen and experienced growing up was insane. I'm talking about like witchcraft, people turning into animals. Let me just give y'all one story. I tell this story to like a few of my close friends, and they're just kind of like, nigga, what are you talking about? Since the world is waking up now and the veil is being lifted, I could say this confidently. My older sister, she could even attest to this. There was a raccoon that popped up in her room. How? 4 a.m. screaming. My dad gets up. There's a big ass raccoon in my sister's room. My dad pops it in his left eye, shoos it out the house, grabs a broom, sweeps that bitch out the house. This is in Florida, mind you. And the next morning, our next door neighbor, the grandmother, came and asked my dad to pray for her. Her left eye was popped. Exactly where my dad popped that eye on the raccoon. Why did you show up to my house? My dad's house, asking for prayer. Bitch, you know what you did last night? And my mom would always be like, don't eat at her house. If she asks you to eat, don't eat. Every time we'd come over, she would be trying to force us to eat. You need to eat. You need to eat. No, bitch, we're not eating. We're not hungry, actually. So being Haitian is not for the weak. I could only myself, but the
Okay, so y'all just heard that, right? So he's Haitian and he's basically telling his experience with like Haitian voodoo witchcraft. So what y'all just heard him talk about is basically.
all right. So being Haitian is not for the weak. Part two. Same location, West Palm Beach, Florida, 561. Where y'all at? My mom's taking Florida 561. Where y'all at?
Okay. So basically, he's referencing what they call, I think in Hades, a lugawoo or shapeshifter, right? So he's talking about shapeshifters in Hades. They believe that, not all of them, right? But in their hoodoo religion, they believe that people can turn into animals, they can shapeshift and do all of this like weird hoodoo voodoo type stuff. And so like if y'all been on my channel long enough, you know, I always, it literally just kicked me out. I don't even know what's going on. Let me know how my connection is doing because I'll have to probably like change locations. Girl, because I'm like, I might have to, and I feel like I look so like crazy live. But anyways, so it just kicked me off. That is mad annoying. I feel like I look crazy live, like with the angles, with the lighting, like it just got me looking real pro, sis. So, anyways, like I was saying, he was explaining like shapeshifters, lugawoos, rugawoos, whatever you want to call it. They have in Hades that they believe in, and so essentially in Louisiana we call them rugawoos. And so I'm not gonna say we because I don't know what to believe. But there are people who are in South Louisiana who believe in rugawoos, meaning they believe in shapeshifters, and they usually target young children and things like that. So that's what he was basically talking about. So we're going to get in part two of his video, girl, because I look hideous. I hope y'all can hear me. So we're going to get into part two.
not for the weak, part 2. Same location, West Palm Beach, Florida, 561, where y'all at. My mom's taking me and my siblings to school in the morning like she always does, but this time she can't find her keys. We cannot find my mom's keys. We were looking high and low, left and right. We could not find this woman's keys. So we walked to school together in the morning time. We came home, same situation. We're still looking for the keys, can't find them until she knocks on our door. Next door neighbor, the grandmother, confronting my parents talking about some, oh, you guys left the keys in front of my house. Who left the keys in front of your house, ho? Who? She gives the keys back to my mom and dad with a stink attitude, talking about some, y'all left the keys in front of my house, da-da-da-da. My mom and dad were like, okay, that's weird. I guess this woman, because she knew my parents' schedule, she knew when my mom went to work, she knew when my dad went to work, she knew when we went to school, she knew when we'd go to church, she knew all of that stuff. After she gave the keys back to my mom, a lot of weird shit started happening in our house. There was one day we came back from church. We come home to a bunch of water everywhere. We open the door and water is falling all over the place. In Florida, there's tile floors. Water is everywhere. My mom and dad's bathroom, our bathroom, the kitchen, every single thing that had a faucet and water, there was water flowing from it. My mom and dad turned everything off and we're helping them sweep. They grabbed the broom, they're sweeping all this water out the house. It was insane. Another time we come home from church, there's fire ants everywhere. How are these ants all over the house? Ants everywhere. Another time we came home, spiders, a bunch of spiders, a big ass spider. We stepped on it, baby spiders came out scrambling all over the floor. It was insane. Another time, roaches. It was just weird stuff kept happening back to back to back. So one day, my dad told us he comes home from church early because he left his Bible. So he comes inside the house and he hears footsteps all over the place and he quickly hears someone running out the house and slamming the door. And when he walks in his room, he's just like, what in the hell? That's when we started putting 2 and 2 together and we realized this bitch made a copy of our keys and this bitch started doing weird shit. After that, my mom, she even told me we had fruit trees, we had a lemon tree, we had avocado tree. Like it gave fruitful, bitch. Anyways, my mom, huge gardener, loved to garden. She was digging up the dirt and she's seeing human bones planted underneath our house, like human bones, like an actual bone in the ground, in the dirt. All right, so being Haitian is not for the weak, part 2.
That's why it's important to stay prayed up because y'all never know who is praying on your downfall. Y'all, whoever's watching, let me know like how my audio sound because I may have to switch locations because I'm upstairs and the Wi-Fi is better downstairs. But that's why it's important to stay prayed up. And he said some interesting things, right? He said fire ants, he said roaches, like flooded water in the house. And girl, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit of my business. So last summer, and I don't know if it was a work thing, but I had an issue where there were like a lot of ants popping up in my office. Girl, and so you know how ants, insects, bugs, roaches, they travel. And like, I'm assuming one of these little ants got into my purse or got into something or leached onto my clothes and came back to my house. And we literally had like an ant infestation. Like in my house, this is coming from never seen a roach, I've seen spiders, right? But never seen a roach to having literal ants infest. Like it was bad. Like it was scary bad. So, and then I started having all of these problems at work, but we're not going to get into that. But now, like watching his video has me like wondering, like, now did somebody? Because I'm in the South and like they practice these type of things. Like if y'all watched my last video, I went to school with people who was like, oh, such and such made me mad. I'm gonna go visit my witch doctor or voodoo priest or such and such. Like, you know, I go to Mexico and visit like my bruja in Mexico, like a witch is, you know. I know people or new people who get down like that. It's a lot of people who are into dark occult practices. But that's why it's important to stay prayed up, babes. Let me get to the third because he has several.
All right, so being Haitian is not for the.
So let me get to the next one.
Being Haitian is not for the weak, part 2. Same location.
Let's get to the next one, y'all. So we're on part 3. I don't know if we're gonna watch Uh, why does he not have it labeled? Part. Okay.
Should I let the chopper sing on this next one? Because it's literally too close to home. Like it. For this next one, I'm gonna need y'all to really tune in. I have to give you the backstory so y'all could understand what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So in Florida, there was a grandmother, and she had two grandkids. She had a granddaughter and a grandson. They were both young, little kids. They were around me and my siblings' age. So older sister, younger brother. Cool. All of that stuff happened. It was a whole lot of stuff that happened while we were in that house. And my mom, being a praying warrior of a woman, she prayed and prayed, and she was like, God, it's time for us to move. We need a new place, a bigger place. You know what I mean? But I don't know where. So in 2004, God showed my mom a dream of the house that she prayed and asked him for. She was very specific. He showed her exactly what she prayed for. 3 stories, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. She was like, okay, God, this is nice, but this don't look like a house in Florida. Boom. She prayed again. God showed her another dream. She was in a car. It was raining outside. As soon as she gets out the car, she remembered stepping into red dirt. And she was still like, okay, God, what does this mean? In 2005, my mom and dad's close friends, they hit my parents up. They're like, yo, we know that y'all in the process of looking for some houses just like us. We're actually looking for some houses in Georgia. Y'all want to come with? My mom and dad were like, bet. So it was my mom, my dad, their close friends, and me and my sister. We drove to Georgia, and as we're getting closer to our destination, it was raining. And my mom, she was like having like a spiritual moment with God, like, what is going on? She was praying, 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 praying. And then we stepped outside. It was red dirt on the floor. My mom was like, okay. Mom and dad's close friends, they looked into a neighborhood and they found their house. And then the real estate agent told my mom and dad, like, hey, there's one more house in this neighborhood. No one wants this house. There's only one house left on this side of the neighborhood. The second half of the neighborhood that was currently being built at the time. But the first subdivision, it was fully built. The only house that was not sold was the house that was for my mom and dad. So we find the house. And when we walk inside the house, my mom is praying in tongues with the real estate agent, all that stuff. And the real estate agent looking at my mom like, what is going on? My mom knew where the bedroom was. My mom knew where the bathroom was. My mom knew where the basement was. My mom knew where everything was. The real estate agent, if her mouth was on the floor, if his mouth was on the floor, it would have been on the floor. Because it's like, what do you mean? You know what this house looks like? How do you know where everything is? This house just got built. But my mom had a dream about this house before it was even built. God is so good. So boom, 2006 hit to February, and we finally moved from Florida to Georgia. And as we're settling in, our next door neighbors, they greeted us like, oh my gosh, hey, nice to meet y'all. And they were Haitian. And they had a daughter, they had a son that was around the same age group as us, and they had a grandmother too. Yeah, exactly. I love that song too. I love the chopper sing.
So I watched most of, like, I think like 6 of the videos. So this is where the plot thickens, right? When they move into this new house and the neighbors are Haitian. So this is when things get a little dicey for him, y'all. Let's get into part 4. Let me know how the sound is in the chat.
So the neighbors, the Haitian neighbors, right? Right? I'm not coming for the kids, but the parents I'm definitely coming for because y'all was dead ass wrong. As a young little jit, I used to come through all the time to play video games with their son. Me and their son were locked in, still love him to this day. But you know what? Because of all this shit, I just had to move accordingly. It's no shade, it's no beef, it's none of that. So I want to say through middle school, 6th through 8th grade, when shit was really hitting the fan and I was really getting targeted and all this bullying and shit, they pulled me aside one day when I came through to play the game with their son. They're like, all right, this is what you're going through. This is what's happening. I was just like, how in the hell do y'all know? But they started holding my hand throughout that process. They were putting me on game with energies and paying attention to your surroundings, being aware spiritually. They took the veil off of my eyes and I was seeing everything as a young little jig. I couldn't believe my eyes, but the shit was real. Mind you, this is happening before the whole spiritual wave. They came through when I needed them the most. Thank you to God for that. I digress. I remember this is one of the things. The mom, she told me that God told her that she wasn't supposed to go to a certain state. And she still went to that state. After a year and some change, she came back. She was a different woman. That was not the God fearing woman that I knew. That woman was on her high spiritual witchcraft wave. She came through with some, oh, yeah, I'm doing Reiki healing now. Let's do it. I'll do it for you and stuff. And around this time, my mom and dad and I had been arguing because they kept saying, stop going to their house, stop going to their house, stop going to their house. I didn't listen and I got what I was looking for. When your parents tell
You
you to
should
do something, good
listen.
95% of the times when my mom told me to do something and I did not listen, they were right. So listen to your parents. So boom, I trusted them, even though everything in my spirit was like, don't do it. I trusted her because of the person that she used to be, not the person who she is now. I didn't want to judge her. So I laid my ass down on that Reiki table. It's like a massage table with the cutout. Your face is going through and laying down. She was hovering her hands over my back. I would literally feel like a weird vibration. I was just like, okay, this girl's working. She know what she doing, right? Nah, nigga. After that shit, my lower back was in pain for a good year. I don't have back problems. Throughout that time, every job I wanted, their daughter got. Every job I applied for and they said no, their daughter got. Every time when they gave me money, my bank account was empty. Every time when they were helping me and putting me on, it was literally setting my life back. It's no shade. And then I started having dreams of the mom doing witchcraft on me, of the dad doing all types of attacks to me. I was just so confused. When I see y'all, it's all love. When I go to sleep, y'all are doing horrendous things to me. What's tea for real? I didn't confront them, but I started to wake up. Definitely gave. The student was surpassing his teacher because the same shit that they were putting me on game with, I took that information and I started moving accordingly. It gave chess, not checkers. And the more I kept dodging their attacks, the more upset they were getting. So boom. There was one day I was painting the aunt's house, their aunt's house. I wasn't working at the time, but a nigga could do a lot of shit. All right, cool. They were like, all right, yeah, so you painted our daughter's room. Our aunt wants you to paint her bathroom. I said, okay. So I'm painting the aunt's bathroom. I felt a very weird, intense vibe in the house. I did not feel comfortable. But as I'm painting the bathroom, the grandma was like, oh, yeah, while you paint the bathroom, go ahead and paint her bedroom, paint her whole entire room for me. No, please, no, thank you, no, nothing. I'm looking at you like, girl, you are not going to overwork me and underpay me. I ain't even want to do this shit for real, for real. So when I got home from painting the first bathroom, I texted him. I was like, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. You ain't even got to pay me. I don't even want the money for real. I'm just done. I don't want to paint the house anymore. When I tell you, my first time saying no to them, being their neighbors for over 15 plus years, they get the grandmother to call me and convince me, their daughter to call me and convince me. They get their aunt, the one I was painting the house for. Aunt's talking about some, oh, I just don't understand. You think that we're trying to overwork you and underpay you? I make this amount of money. I would never do something like that. Okay, if that was the case, then why didn't you say, okay, yeah, go ahead and paint the other rooms and we'll pay you however much you just said, go ahead and do it for me, thinking that I was going to do 3 for 1. No, baby, it didn't give that. So I'm saying no. Because I said no, the aunt was like, oh, well, I hope you know, I know this person, I know that person, and you could have worked with them. But if you don't want to, then that's bad business for you. I said, girl, bye. That's not the only thing that I can do. And I was doing you a favor. My life isn't depending on this. All right, cool. So mind you, this aunt is a good looking woman, got her money together. She's that girl. Tell me why after I said no, that same night, mind you, they send their daughter, it's like midnight, damn near 1 a.m., to text me and say, oh yeah, we just came from Puerto Rico a week ago, but we got you a gift. You could come outside and get it. First thing in my spirit was like, this shit don't feel right. This something's not right about this. I digress. I prayed before I went. I applied the blood of Jesus over me. I had my prayer oil. You know what I mean? I'm not playing that. I go outside. It's dark. Full moon. It was a full moon. Clock that. It's dark. The trees are blowing. I open the door. I look to my left to my neighbor's house. The daughter's standing underneath the tree in the dark. She's already outside. As I'm walking up to this girl, oh my gosh, yeah, so we got you this thing. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. All right, bye. Gotta go. Runs inside the house. Bitch, I am not slow. I'm not calling the daughter a bitch, but love you, girl. Yeah, so I open up the gift and it's like a shot glass, but it was wrapped up in this weird brown paper. I unwrap it and it's a shot glass. It says Puerto Rico on it. It has a little toucan bird on it, whatever. I got the darkest, heaviest, demonic vibe from that shit. You know what I did? I walked right behind their house where we put our trash cans. I threw that shit away in their trash can. I walked back into my house. I text the daughter, girl, thank you so much. Like, I love the gift. Tell your parents I said thank ya. Heart emoji, send. Chestnut checkers. I go to sleep. It's a new day. My mom tells me, Hannah, I had a weird dream about the grandmother. She was at the gas station missing the gas pump. And she's like, I was supposed to get him. I was supposed to get Hannah. Why didn't I get Hannah? My mom was just like, I thought that was weird. And I was like, oh, baby, let me tell you what happened last night. So I told her what happened last night. My mom, she was proud. She was like, oh my gosh, like, yes, that's exactly how you do it. So we pray again some more, and my mom did that prayer. Whatever they are doing to my son, send it back to the sender. 3 weeks later, I get the news that that perfectly fine aunt passed away. So the neighbors, the Haitian neighbors, right? I'm not coming for the kids, but the parents I'm definitely coming for because y'all was dead ass wrong. As a young little jit, I used to come through all the time to.
So that was a little bit of a long clip. So that's why it's very important to one, have a praying mama, but also like be mindful like the gifts you accept, because like the enemy is not gonna come, like your true enemy is gonna come to you in a form of a friend, right? They're gonna come off as harmless, and that's how you let your guard down. That's how you become vulnerable, and that's in all aspects of life, right? Not just people who are trying to put roots on you, but just in all aspects of life. If always listen to your inner voice, your intuition, that gut feeling. Like if you feel like someone, and I need to be telling myself this, but if you feel like someone who's in your life is not a friend, who is someone that wants to do harm to you, understand if they want to come into your life in a form of like an enemy, they're more than likely just going to come off really friendly, really nice, very manipulative. And that's kind of like what happened in his situation. It put him in between a rock and a hard space, right? Because these are his neighbors. They're very friendly to him. But he knows in his gut feeling like something is not right. Like they're trying to do harm to him, is what he believes. And, you know, so it's interesting. So the plot thickens. The aunt passes away, child. So let's see what's next. Let me know how my audio is in the chat for those who are watching. So let's go to, I'm just gonna go up to like 6, like where you see Witchcraft Stories Part 6. So I'm not gonna, I think he has more.
All right, so part 5. My mom, she had her family members that came from the Biden administration from Haiti. She opened up her home to 6 additional people when she was supposed to do that, but she did it anyways. After I told her I don't think that was a good idea, she did it anyways because that's just the type of mom that I have. She was like, "Oh, my family, they would never." Okay, they were all cool. All of them were cool. It was just that one of them was in that shit. He was working a 12-hour shift warehouse job. And mind you, when they came in, we took them to the doctor's office so they could get the blood work, paperwork, get their social securities, all of that stuff. And this was the things that we get. I was in the middle of a 30-day fast. And during that fast, while he was there, I went to sleep. I had a dream that I was in Haiti. I never been to Haiti before, but I just knew that I was in Haiti. It was 5 to 6 different people. They were all holding hands around this table. And on the table, I seen fruits, vegetables, raw meat, candles, incense burners, and a celebration cake, and more other things, saying things in a different language and French and Creole and all that stuff. And this lady who looked like my grandmother, but I knew it wasn't my grandmother, she was just trying to initiate me in their shit. And I respectfully declined multiple times until they held me down and tried to pour this dark, thick, nasty black liquid down my throat. As soon as it touched my tongue, I woke up. It's 3 a.m. And as I woke up, I see that the bedroom light from my cousin's door turns on at the same time I wake up. I pray. I'm rebuking the dream. My mom knocks on my door. She was like, something doesn't feel right. Are you okay? I told her the dream. She's praying. And then after she finished praying, she was just like, I feel like that was probably my mom's mom. So my great grandmother, she felt like it has something to do with that. So as my mom and I are talking and getting to the bottom of this, my cousin has the audacity to open up the door and literally in detail explains the same exact dream that I had. He's telling my mom, "Oh yeah, I was there in the dream. I was just in the corner and I was watching." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna work. It won't happen. They're not gonna take your son, nigga. I'm looking at you sideways because, like, come on now." After he tried doing that shit to me, he came from my sister, and if anyone knows my sister, she is a top tier. She knows. She will look at you and whatever's in you, you will feel very uncomfortable around her because she does not play that shit. It's not my story to explain the things that she went through. I'll leave that to her when she's ready to speak on it and when she releases that book. But just know that she's straight. She's good. I just thought it was funny because last night my mom is talking to her sister in Haiti, and my aunt is telling her, "Oh yeah, so my son, him, after he left my house, disrespected my mom and did her dirty, lied to her face, the whole 9 yards. He leaves, goes to Canada because he had a place to stay in Canada." My aunt is telling my mom that, yeah, he got kicked out of the place. He damn near lost his mind. He's running away from the police, homeless, no clothes, no shelter, no nothing. And honestly, a part of me felt bad, but the other half of me was just like, I mean, you got what you were looking for. You thought you were bigger than the program. You thought you were bigger than God's program. You thought you could come in this place after we open up our house to you, and this is the things that we get. And you thought God was not going to come for that ass. God put belt to ass. I can't make this up. Did I pray for him? Of course I did. But outside of that, God is going to do and handle people how he wants to handle people. So when people wonder why I go so hard for God, I go so hard for God because this is the outcome every single time. We always come out on top. When you are his child and you abide by his rules, when it says vengeance is not yours, it's the Lord's, he will put belt to ass to your enemies every single time. People would rather pay money to have someone deal with these curses and soul ties and all these whatever things rather than just humbling themselves, getting on their knees, repenting, and just saying, "All right, God, I need help. I need your help. I didn't know no better, but I need your help." Get rid of it just so they can have more strings attached to you. It's a lose-lose game. When you're depressed, they always say dancing battles that. What cancels out darkness? The light. And I've heard people saying there's good witches. A witch is a witch, whether they're doing good things for the community or not, because they are using necromancy that is not through God to get the work done rather than going to God to get the work done. O'Shea, read the book of Enoch. You will see all of it. All right, so part 5. My mom, she had her
Girl, I don't know. What do y'all have to say about that? Because I hear there are good and bad witches, but I feel like anyone who's dibbling and dabbling in dark occult magic is you're teetering tottering on the side of like, girl, it's just hell. And let me not say it like that, but it's kind of scary, and so it's nefarious and all of the things, right? So let's get into the last clip that he is telling his story, girl. So let's see.
Look, I know I've been cooking my Haitian community because they needed that. Dead ass, they definitely needed that. But it's not just them because I dealt with some people that were not Haitian, but they were still on that shit too. For example, a girl that I've known for 15 plus years, middle school, high school, everything, had the same birthday, same everything. Me, her, and her mom got very.
Well, okay. Wait, I'm gonna leave it there. So I thought that was gonna be the part because this is not the clips that I was looking for because he had clips like when he was really going in on those neighbors. Maybe they got deleted, girl. I don't know. Maybe I watched it out of order, but he showed like some of the things that happened to him when he was going through this spiritual warfare, and it was really scary. I don't see it anymore. Maybe he took it down. Maybe he took it down. Okay. Girl, I don't know. I'm going to sharing. So we're going to get back. Okay. Maybe he took it down. But yeah, y'all. So I think he probably took it down because then he goes on to tell like all of the things that was happening where he had chains around his ankles and how it was manifesting in real life, that he had like black marks around his ankles, and then like he would wake up with scratches and bruises and all types of like stuff on his body. And I don't see that. Maybe it got taken down, maybe it was violating TikTok guidelines, girl, I don't know. But let me know how y'all like the laugh. I don't know if I like the laugh because I feel like, look at my hair. I feel like it got me looking a little wonky in the light. But let me know if y'all like me doing it live. I feel like it just is very weirdly angled how I am because I was trying to get like good, like decent lighting. Yeah, I don't know. is up. But let me know if y'all enjoyed this. I might just do a pre-recorded. I'm just having so many issues, which is why I went live. I'm like basically trying to like record and make my videos because I do everything on my phone. And so like I'm having issues. And it's like, sis, I don't know. Like, I don't know what more else I can delete, get rid of off my phone to give y'all what y'all want. But I'm going to make a good faith attempt because I did do my Funky Dinita video and I didn't finish it because I didn't finish recording. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Bye.